Howdy neighbors, David here. And today on Boondock Stallions, we're going to talk about the Halloween series and how it's a horror movie franchise with a multiverse, which is really something not too common in horror movies, and whether or not the next chapter in the movie series is going to actually be any good. I myself am a big fan of the Halloween series. I know I don't actually have much around here, but I do have my autographed photo of Danielle Harris when I met her at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I don't know why my camera is flashing like that. Weird. Sign of the devil, maybe? I don't know. Nope. Perfect. Got it. There we go. Awesome. So I'm a big fan of the Halloween franchise. My best friend is actually a much bigger fan of the franchise than I am, and could probably put me to shame in some trivia were he here, but he's not. He's out of town. So the horror movie franchise, let's talk about that. It's got a multiverse. Not many horror movies do that. Let's see. If you follow the horror movies from Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and you can always add Halloween 3 as a bit of a wild card because it's not a part of the Michael Myers franchise, but it is a good movie on its own. I suggest you all give it a watch if you haven't. Like I said, it fails to make fans happy that are fans of the Michael Myers story because it has nothing to do with Haddonfield or all that, but watch it. It's good. It's solid horror nonetheless. Anywho, so you go 1, 2, and then you could jump to Halloween 4, 5, and 6 being the prime universe in the Halloween timeline. That's where everything stays pretty much linear. Then you get to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and there's a producer's cut of that movie, if you've never seen, in which actually Michael passes on his curse into Dr. Loomis and leaves a free, normal man with no burden of all the horrible, awful things that he's done over the years past. And while that ending was kind of weak and leaves Dr. Loomis set with the curse, he could have easily been the next killer, but he died shortly after filming the movie, so producers reworked the ending so that the Michael character ended up killing Dr. Loomis. You hear him scream one last time, and the theater goes dark, and it says, "In memory of Donald Pleasance," our beloved actor who played Dr. Loomis. And that was, that was awesome and terrible, but awesome that they managed to work it that way so that Dr. Loomis died at the hands of Michael Myers. But that is the end of the prime timeline. Then you flash forward from, I think that was 1996 to 2000, or I'm sorry, 98, and you get H2O. H2O is a completely new timeline in the Halloween franchise. It pretends that 4, 5, and 6 never existed. I mean, it does kind of pay homage to the fact that in that original timeline, Laurie Strode's character died in a car accident with her husband. And in this movie, you find out that Laurie says that she faked her death, but they've retconned the daughter being alive and staying back in Haddonfield and blah, blah, blah. So at this point, instead of a daughter, now she has a son. And the son is 17, and she realizes that it's not only the 20th anniversary of the night that she was attacked, but her son is now the same age that she was when she was attacked. So, for some reason, that makes her fear that Michael Myers is coming back, and it pays out because, I mean, it's a sequel. And so Michael comes back, terror ensues, and then we have Halloween Resurrection. And then at the end of Resurrection, we end that timeline and enter the Rob Zombie remake verse. And even though it's a remake, it still technically counts as a part of a multiverse in a multiverse series. So there's Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, and then when you're done with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, you come up with Halloween from 2018, which is a direct sequel to the original 1978 Halloween movie, deleting even Halloween 2 and the premise that Laurie Strode is the younger, long-lost sibling of Michael Myers. Now you've gone back and just made Michael Myers somebody who's insane and likes to kill people, and Laurie the random victim that survived the night that he snapped. So here's what I've been building to. Will the next movie be any good? Will the sequel to Halloween be any good? And I say Halloween, I mean Halloween 2018. Will it be any good? And here's why. The sequels tend to follow a formula. There's a really strong sequel and then a really shitty follow-up. For example, so if you count Halloween 1 and 2 as one movie because they're technically set on the same night, pick up right where the other one left off. You could count that as one big overarching movie. And then the sequel that followed it, Halloween 3, while itself, Halloween 3 is a good standalone film, it is a terrible sequel to the Halloween series that we started watching with Halloween 1 and 2. So then you get to Halloween 4. Halloween 4, great sequel, great return of Michael Myers, awesome, awesome, awesome movie. And it's followed up with Halloween 5. And Halloween 5, I'm sorry, while I love Danielle Harris and everything else about that movie was kind of a little boring and cheesy and very cliche and a sequel for sequel's sake. And then there's Halloween 6, which was only made because Halloween 5 left us on a cliffhanger ending where Jamie's been kidnapped. There's the guy with the trench coat and the fedora and the spurs for some reason. And he breaks her out of jail. There's a big fire and explosion. All kinds of stuff goes down. And you're like, whoa, what's happening with Jamie? And then nothing happens. That was 1989. We didn't get Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers until 1995. It was a 6-year gap in what the hell was going on, which was explained away with Jamie needed to age old enough to give birth to a child, and they felt that 6 years was a good time stretch for her to be older to have the kid, blah, 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 blah. But if that were the case, then y'all could have easily brought back Danielle Harris. She was still a teenager and would have been actually the age appropriate that y'all were talking about. But whatever, whatever. Anyways, so then we get to H2O, right? H2O, phenomenal reboot, phenomenal sequel to the first two Halloween movies. And then what happens with Halloween H2O? They follow it up with Resurrection, and Resurrection was garbage. It was absolute crap. And yet, there's my best friend, and Samantha. Hello. Yeah, Resurrection was crap. That movie was garbage. I mean, it was Buster Rhymes doing kung fu and his dreads hanging out the back of the mask, and Tyra Banks being in the movie because she was popular in the world that year, and it was like on a web show, which is garbage. Sorry about that. Like, subscribe. But it was just a horrible premise, a horrible sequel, a horrible idea. Then you hop to Rob Zombie's remake. His remake was awesome. Now, I know there's a lot of fans that were out there because it was too graphic and too violent, but honestly, it was a perfect film for Rob Zombie to take over and put his own unique spin on. That was a great movie. Rob Zombie's Halloween was the definitive Halloween movie. It was everything you loved about the original movies, filling in all the gaps, giving you more backstory, more character development on basically every single character in the movie. And then Rob Zombie took a shit all over that great movie and followed it up with his Halloween 2. Halloween 2 was garbage. That movie was crap. That movie was crap. Like, what? Did you not see the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, Rob Zombie? I know you were there. Your name's on the damn DVD. I own it. It's on my shelf. I'd show you, but I have to get up. You shot him in the face. You had your main character take the gun and put it point blank to his face and shoot him in the face, and then gone. And then what happens? What happens? Sequel. How did that happen? He was fucking dead. Point blank. Dead. There's even a big chunk of the mask missing because the mask was blown off like his head should have been. And there was still a sequel. There was even a way for it to have been saved. The whole time I was watching the movie, I was thinking that this is all in Laurie's head. This is going to end with Laurie realizing that Michael died at the end of the first movie and that she's been the one committing all of these crimes because of the damn trauma and shit that she found out about herself, plus Michael trying to kill her. It turned her into a monster, and that would have been an awesome reveal for the end of the movie. She comes out wearing the Michael Myers mask and is the killer. But did we get that? No. That would have been an awesome movie for us to get, but instead we got that bullshit pale horse nonsense and some kid playing the ghost of the child Michael Myers, whom, by the way, Laurie never even fucking met. So riddle me that, Rob Zombie. Riddle me that. Anyways, so once again, proving it follows a shit sequel story arc with the Halloween franchise, what's going to happen now here in 2021? Because Halloween 2018, That was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed what they did, and once again, continuing to make a different verse in the multiverse, made it their own sequel to the original movie. It was very well thought out. It was very well written. It was very well directed. I have nothing but praise for it. Having said that, looking at the history of Halloween, how are they going to follow that up? Not only how are they going to follow it up, why are you going to follow it up? Why follow it up and ruin it? Why shit all over your own legacy? And not only that, but it turns out that there's going to be another one after Halloween Kills. How do we even know that Halloween Kills is going to be good enough to warrant us to want to go see a third one? Y'all saw what happened with the Matrix trilogy, right? Right? Like, does everybody remember the Matrix trilogy? I know it's been like 20 years, but like that's still fresh in my mind. Um, Anywho, let me know what you think down in the comments. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.